Hi, boys and girls. I hope everybody's doing good and you had a safe week. I'd like to say thank you to all your parents that have been communicating with me on Class Dojo and helping you with your homework. I've gotten a lot more students turning in their papers, so good job. And shout out to Romaldo. He just sent in a notification. He is doing his work. Good job, Romaldo. He's doing good Go Noodle right now. Okay, so let's get started on our math. We're going to first watch a video, okay? We're on chapter 11, lesson 5. We're still talking about weights and measurements, and we're going to do converting today. We're going to convert ounces to pounds, pounds to ounces, and pounds to tons, and tons to ounces. So let's get started with a video.
Units of weight. A newborn lion cub weighs about 5 pounds. How many ounces is this? Before we solve this problem, let's explore the concept of weight. Weight is a measure of how heavy an object is. Customary units of weight are ounce, pound, and ton. A slice of bread weighs about 1 ounce, and a tomato may weigh about 1 pound. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. A typical buffalo weighs about 1 ton, which is equal to about 2,000 pounds. Now, let's solve the problem. How many ounces does the lion cub weigh? We know the lion cub weighs 5 pounds. We need to convert this to ounces. Larger units, pounds, are being converted to smaller units, ounces. To convert a larger unit of weight to smaller units, multiply. Since 1 pound equals 16 ounces, multiply 5 by 16. 5 times 16 is 80. So, 5 pounds is equal to 80 ounces. A newborn lion weighs 80 ounces.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our first page. I'm going to move me over here to the side a little bit. Let me close off of that. Let's close this. I always have a lot of things going on here. Let's look at lesson 5. We're going to do example number 1. I'm going to show you my piece of paper here. You can follow along with me. So chapter 11, lesson 5, pages 825 to 828. We're going to convert customary units of weight. Today, we will convert ounces to pounds and pounds to ounces. We're also going to do pounds to tons and tons to pounds. Right now, we're going to concentrate on ounces and pounds. Since 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces, we are going to multiply ounces multiplied by ounces in a pound. For example, number 1. So if 1 pound equals 16 ounces and you need to find how many ounces are in 5 pounds, we're going to multiply 5 by 16. So we already know that a little baby cub weighs about 5 pounds, but we want to see how much that equals out to in ounces. So I'm multiplying 16 times 5. When I multiply 16 times 5, I remember that 6 times 5 is 30, regroup and carry my 3. 5 times 10, well, 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8, so we have 80. 5 pounds is equal to 80 ounces. A newborn lion cub weighs about 80 ounces. And to check our answer, we would just do division instead of multiplication, and 80 divided by 5 is 16. So our answer is reasonable. One of the things that you can do when you're looking at your math work today is go ahead and go back to page 825 and use your resources here. We have key concepts. We're going to do pounds to ounces, ounces to pounds, tons to pounds, and vice versa. And so you can just look at your little key at the bottom, page 825, and see that 1 pound is equal to 8 ounces, 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. And this is just what an ounce, a pound, and a ton actually look like, okay? So let's move on to the next page. Let's read with me at the top of the page. As with units of length, units of weight in the customary system can also be expressed using different units or as fractions and decimals. So some of our answers will be in the form of a fraction. Some will be in the form of a decimal. Let's look at example number 2. I'm going to open up my document camera again. And we are going to, in this problem, convert ounces to pounds. Let's look here. We are going to convert 56 ounces to pounds. Let's look at your book. Let me see if I can just enlarge that just a little bit for you. All right. So, let me move this over. Since you're changing a smaller unit to a larger unit, you are to divide. We are going to change 56 ounces to pounds. So we will divide 56 by 16. And let's look at that. 56 divided by 16 is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. We're going to write our 8 right here, regroup and carry our 1 to the tens place. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So our answer, 3 times 16 is 48. Now we need to subtract. We are going to regroup because we cannot take 8 away from 6. And we're going to change our 5 to a 4 right here. And add a group of tens to my 6 ones, and we have 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 4 minus 4 is nothing. So we have a remainder. We have a remainder of 8. Now, that means we have something left over. I know that the 3 means pounds. Well, what does the 8 mean? The 8 means ounces. We had to continue to use ounces in this problem because there aren't enough ounces to make another pound. So our answer would remain as 3 pounds and 8 ounces. We can show these 8 ounces in the form of a fraction of a pound. What I would do is make my 8 my numerator, 16 is going to be my denominator, and what I would have is 3 and 8/16 of a pound. I know that I can simplify this by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So my answer becomes 3.5. Now this half doesn't mean ounces here. It means half of a pound now. So 3 pounds and 8 ounces is the same thing as 3.5 pounds. We can use ounces or a fraction of a pound to explain our answer. So 56 ounces is equal to 3 pounds, 8 ounces. You can word the answer in different ways, just as we did above with the fractions. 3 pounds, 8 ounces, or 3.5 pounds, or 3 5/10 of a pound. For today, we're going to use ounces, and we're also going to use a fraction of a pound when we complete our answers. All right? So let's go ahead and look at the guided, actually, I want to show you some notes. Let's talk about this a little bit more. All right. So these are things that I want you to remember. If you'd like to take some notes right now and pause the video, you can. I know that to convert pounds to ounces, since 16 ounces is equal to 1 pound, I'm going to multiply pounds by 16. And to convert ounces to pounds, I'm going to divide by 16. So pounds to ounces multiplied by 16. Ounces to pounds, you're going to divide by 16. Because 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces and 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. When we're going from a larger unit, which are the pounds and the tons, pounds are larger than, 1 pound is larger than an ounce. And you saw that in the key on the very first page, 825, where you would see that a tomato weighs more than a slice of bread, right? So a tomato would be our 1 pound. It would take about 16 ounces, 16 slices of bread to equal 1 tomato. So when we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, we are going to multiply. When we are going from something like 16 ounces to a pound or 2,000 pounds to a ton, we're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, and we are going to divide when we convert our answers that way. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at guided practice number 1. I'm going to do that together here. Let me open the document camera again. Oops. All right, let me minimize that so we can go ahead and see our math page and the notes at the same time. All right? So we're going to do number 1. And I'm going to enlarge this a little bit here so you can see it. Guided practice number 1. So what we have here in our textbook is 3 pounds is equal to a variable. Now what is this unknown? 3 pounds is equal to, I don't know, how many ounces? Let's figure that out. Remember what I said, when we're going from a larger unit such as pounds to ounces, we are going to multiply. Multiply by 16. So 3 times 16 is what I have to figure out. 3 pounds is equal to an unknown amount of ounces. 3 times 16. 3 times 6 is 8. Regroup and carry my 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. My answer is 48. So when I went from pounds to ounces, I went from 3 pounds is equal to 48 ounces. Let's look at number 2. Number 2, this one is a little bit trickier because I have a fraction. So I'm going to have to change my mixed number to an improper fraction, and then I'll be able to multiply. So there's an extra step in this problem. I have 2.5 pounds, and I need to figure out how many pounds, 2.5 pounds is equal to in ounces. So I know that I'd have to multiply by 16. Well, let's look at this problem right here. 2.5 pounds is an unknown amount of ounces. The first thing I have to do is I would have to change this 2.5 to a mixed number. So I multiply up. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 plus 1 is 5. So I change 2.5 to 5 over 2. Now I'm going to multiply that by 16, and I know when I'm multiplying by a whole number, all I have to do is put 16 over 1. So now I have 5 over 2 times 16 over 1. I'm just going to multiply straight across. Now I'm going to do 5 times my ones. 5 times 6 is 30. So I'd put my 0 here, regroup my 3. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So now I have 80 as my numerator. Let's move on to our denominator. 2 times 1 is very simple, is 2. Now I have 80 over 2. To convert this, I remember that in my fraction, this line means to divide. So I read it from top to bottom. 80 divided by 2, I know that half of 80 or 80 divided by 2 is 40. So I'm going to go back to my problem where 2.5 pounds is equal to how many ounces? Well, I know after solving this problem that 2.5 pounds is equal to 40 ounces. So 40 was the unknown. It might be a little tough for you to understand this. So what I recommend is you pausing the video or stopping the video and going back to rewind to a spot where you might have got a little lost and take the video a little bit slower, okay? Let's move on to the next page. Now, these are the problems that you're going to work on your own. I'm going to enlarge this page so you can see a little bit better. All right. Now, let's just talk about this for a minute. I'm going from ounces to pounds. So remember, When I am going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, I have to divide, right? So to convert ounces to pounds, I have to divide. So I'm going to divide 96 by 16 to find out how many pounds 96 ounces is. For number 7, this 7T means 7 tons. And I remember from the very first page that 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So if I'm going to go from tons to pounds, I'm going to multiply again. I'm going to multiply 7 times 2,000. So 7 times 2,000 is going to give me how many pounds 7 tons is. For the next one, we have a decimal. So I have 1 and 5/10 tons. Remember, just as I did number 5, I'm going to multiply. When I convert tons to pounds, I multiply by 2,000. 1 and 5/10 tons times 2,000 is going to give me how many pounds? Let's look at number 7. Number 7 is 11,000 pounds to tons. Notice I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit here. When I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, I have to divide. So in this problem, I multiplied, but now in this problem, I'm going to divide. So 11,000 divided by 2,000 is going to give me my answer. Okay. Let's look at number 8. 8, you're going to have a remainder, and your remainder is going to be what your ounces are. So if I'm going to convert from ounces to pounds, I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit here. So 50 ounces divided by how many pounds is going to be my answer. And then I'm going to have a remainder, and that's going to be my ounces. Here, you're going to have to change the fraction to an improper fraction, this mixed number to an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So here you're going to have 5/4. And then you're going to have to do what? You're going from pounds to ounces, so you're going to multiply by 16. So you're going to multiply 5/4 times 16. You're going to change 16 to 16 over 1. So 5/4 times 16 over 1 is equal to however many ounces you have, and then you will have to divide your numerator by your denominator. Same thing for number 10. We're going from pounds to tons. So here we will have to, we're going to divide. Here we're going from tons to pounds. So here we will multiply. For our compare in our numbers, we have to convert. We're going to have to convert 7,000 pounds to tons. When we convert 7,000 pounds to tons, we will, what do you do? Are we going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, or from a smaller unit to a larger unit? Well, pounds is smaller than tons, so when we're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we're going to divide. Here you're going to have to divide 7,500 by 2,000. That will give you your tons, and then you're going to compare tons to tons. And then I think you get the idea, and you can figure out 13 and 14. This is a little difficult, and I know I'm not here to help you, but hopefully this video will help. When you're done with those problems, you're going to look at the next page, the last page of the assignment, page 828, and you're going to have to stop and think. Read the entire problem like we've done in class, then stop and read one sentence at a time, collect the information, figure out what the question is asking you. How are you going to solve the problem? Are you going to multiply or are you going to divide? Remember, from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you're going to multiply. From a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to divide. And then you're going to provide your answer. Okay, I wish you good luck. I hope everybody's doing well. And let me see. I'll get bigger so I can see you. Okay. It was nice to know that you're all working hard, and I'm very proud of you. Keep it up, and I will see you tomorrow. Stop the video now.